Hey Taurus, how are you doing? I've split all my decks that I want to use for today. I'm going to we'll get the energies off of them to start with. We're just coming out of the effects of your own lunar eclipse, the full moon in Taurus. The sun is just entering Scorpius. It just entered Scorpius yesterday. Others will say that it's in Sagittarius, and it's not. It's not. If you get Stellarium, if you go to Stellarium on your desktop, or you get the Stellarium app, or if you get the Sky Safari app, it will show you exactly where everything is. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. I just went and bitched out another astrologer on YouTube today, as gently as I could, but I said I really don't know why we haven't all switched over to sidereal placements and then allow tropical to be follow the calendar, yes, and be sort of an aura. We still have the seasons. They're not weather seasons, because then you have the inversions between northern and southern hemispheres. The weather just isn't going to match. But in terms of how they influence us through character, yeah. But then we have to get into world astrologies as well, which is what I do in my astrology workbook series. But I'm feeling pretty grounded in all of that knowledge. So before I get into the description of who and what, let's just get, here we have your Eight of Swords, which has been showing up. It shows up twice in the upright, both times, okay? So this is a very important time, Taurus, I feel. And I actually went through some of the information about this card last night and slept on it, and then went and did some other things so that I wouldn't color this too much. But I did some research because it triggered some extra thoughts, okay? And so I wanted to give myself some time. Actually, what happened was I was clearing up Sagittarius read, and these cards started speaking right away. I wasn't even planning on laying out your cards yet, but they started showing up. I'm like, okay, all right, good. And as soon as I was kind of suspicious once the Eight of Swords came through, because she's been playing some serious magic tricks on you. Let's see, do I go back to May with that at least? Okay, and this is my Houdini card. I would say all those swords weren't put there by you. Those are other people's swords. And you're going to pull off one magnificent... It's been building and building and building. Now that I have it echoed in this deck, which is a deck I've had with me for ages, but I have 3 parrots in my life through one of my clients. It's actually a client I'm about to part ways with just because they've outgrown me during this pandemic. They've become multimillionaires. And I can no longer, they're going to move into a property that's too big for me to look after. But this carries strong animal energy for me. I work a lot with animals through my other work. Sort of unofficially, but regularly. Yes, many dogs, birds, cats. I have 2 cats. So this spoke to me eventually as carrying animal spirit guide energy. And it's echoing these 8 swords. So I take it as no joke. And I just helped a dog pass over during I took about a 2-week period to prep the port, work with guides on the other side to help that dog pass, because the owner was having a very hard time doing what was needed. And so I said, okay, well, it was my dad's neighbor, and I said, I will help pull this dog. I will work with my people on the other side and help pull this dog across if she's not going to be sent across. And everything worked out amazingly with many affirmations. So this is it's small but a very strong energy. And it's echoing these 8 swords. We have the Elizabethan dancer in Susan Sheppard's past life, her Phoenix cards. So this is if this speaks to you in the past life way, or an ancestral way, or somebody speaking to you from that time, or there's something connected to that energy, that place and time that is coming through for you right now. Alana Fairchild's Wild Kuan Yin cards. Mel Brown's Aboriginal Spirit Oracle. Mel Brown is a healer. She's an Aboriginal healer in Australia. I'm sure she doesn't call it Australia. But here we have self-respect. Okay. And you see there's some dark red tones coming through here. So some serious root work, I would say. I've got it in this card. got it in Mel's card. There is burgundy and maroon through browns and oranges combined in this card, right? We have a 14, which also gives us the 5 of change, right? Necessary change. She's on a Shakespearean stage, okay? And Shakespeare automatically takes me to Francis Bacon and Masons. Okay, we've got a lot of Masonic mystery around this card. Underneath it we have an Australian Aboriginal painting. So, and then just the fun part of this, number 42 on this door. These are Engracia's divine doors. We're going to get 2 more of them, okay? But 42, and see we've got, it's brown, I realize, but it's echoing this deep sort of mahogany root color, okay? Oh, I've got an unexpected message right underneath it, okay? Maybe it's already come. And since I've got it in reverse there, I normally don't take a reversal, but I'm going to, right now, I'm going to see that it possibly already came. Okay, so this number 42, 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything, according to Douglas Adams in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? The answer is 42. So Douglas talks to me regularly. I work with a lot of authors that have passed over. I just missed him. He died right before his messages started coming through to me. My copy of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy went on a 6-month adventure via the UK through Switzerland and then back to me. So I gave up on it. By the time it showed up, I wasn't expecting it. So something might have taken longer than you anticipated, and boom, it's going to show up. Okay? Because in Lenormand we have the dreaded 4-leaf clover. Good luck, okay? This card haunts me. It haunts me. Ireland runs my life. My partner is in Ireland. The partner before that was in Ireland. But everything I do ties to Ireland. My 7th house is completely tied to Ireland. And my Scottish and my English. But Ireland just keeps pulling me back in, even if I try to make a run for it over and over. So this is very powerful magic here. We have the Six of Pentacles. Woo, just about said 6 of Swords. So 6 of Pentacles, which is completely echoing self-respect, knowing your worth. Knowing your worth. So for me, that's a Virgo energy. Others would put it as Taurus. But I put Taurus, I put you as Cardinal, because you're 2nd house. And there's no reason to stick to Ptolemy's classifications. So for me, this is a 6th house workplace situation, having to do with your health as well. And we have a 2 of planning, deciding, okay, partnering or not, like which ways to go, crossroads, that kind of thing, okay? Oh, we have a key right underneath it. Let me focus. The key, we'll keep that key, okay? That's right there. Okay, so God, this is very strong energy. It was coming out strong right off the bat. So let's start with Kuan Yin. Look at all those striations, very gentle shifts of color, more maroon, hinted at, right? It's down there, bridge. Bridge, there's a person there, rock face, we've got a bull, of course the bird, and no, I can't see, I can't see exactly what's been cut off here in the image, but that's, anyway. The creative power. Okay, Scorpius. What did I say? Judgment card. Extreme creative power, because Scorpius is going to take what's dead and bring it to life. Yep. The mind often wants to see and know exactly what is around the corner, but to manifest, we have to give up certainty and embrace the creative process. I feel like this is a pain point. Choosing to live creatively will bring you more joy and success than any amount of certainty ever could. We're going to shift, like you're probably really, really wanting to be in executive mode right now. And Scorpio is saying, no, we're going to do this another way this time. That is exactly what I'm feeling right now. And it's not an accident. Okay, I'm a Taurus Venus. Hang on. I'm going to line these up. I'm going to get the books ready, and we're going to do we're going to get into the Morgan Greer tarots. Of course, we'll do tarot read. So let me just set the stage for this. We're going to start with the doors. We'll get 2 more doors. We've already started. Okay, we're going to get 2 more doors next, okay? Okay, so right underneath the Eight of Swords is the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm keeping her out. This is 10th house career energy for me, as far as I'm concerned. And over here, underneath the Eight of Swords over there, was the Seven of Pentacles. So the transformation. Okay. Let's see. So we have a 6 and a 7. So there's combined Virgo experience. Timing is key. In Virgo's a time lord house. Everything's time sensitive. Space-time sensitive. Time and place. What am I saying? I'm echoing it. Okay. All right. Let's see here. And that would be key. So we've got 42. I'll read it out in a minute. And another door. I guess this is not the exciting side to show. Ooh. Okay. Wow. Okay. Remember that it's a cross energy, but we'll keep it in the upright. All right. Something extremely old that has totally stood the test of time. Extremely well built. Word that's come through for me, Taurus. I've been working on your house in my astrology book this month. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. Groundbreaking for me. Taurus energy is groundbreaking energy. That's the word that's been coming through for me. Also, the sun was very possibly in Aries when you were born, because we are behind in tropical by about 24 degrees. Thank you. So you might want to check out Aries reading as well. Okay. Angkor Wat. This is the Tapom temple. One of the oldest temples. Yes. Actually. Well, and it predates. It goes through several. It is dedicated. Last time it was dedicated to the Buddha, but when did I last look this up? Because it appears twice in this deck. This door. It must have been for a general read, a daily, weekly read. Okay. All right. It's echoing this. We have root work here, so you have ancestors coming through here. So this is work that is bigger than you. This work has been in progress for multiple generations, which takes me back to the multi-gen battles, that reading that I did for Taurus, May or June, maybe April. Okay, big energy. Like I said, other people put those swords around you. You might not have had a choice about them. Okay, so let's see what these doors want to say. And then we'll figure out where they fit into the tarot story as we get into that. Inner power. Yeah, okay, good for Scorpio season. By your own command, you brought yourself here. Hey. At this moment in life, you have nothing to fear. Alright, so if there's a tower moment that you're going through, just remember, I just finished what I said to Aries, because Aries is dealing with, and it's because I was watching Minnow Pond, I was watching Chris while I was clearing my head about things. I was watching him read today for Taurus. It's from about 4 days ago. Or is it a day ago? Anyway, it's for the 22nd to the 28th. And he's echoing my experience as Aries, because what's coming up for him for Taurus is the imposter syndrome that he always gets for Taurus, and for Aries I got an inferiority complex situation being worked through. Okay, and so for Aries I said, well, because they got a Divine Doors, one of these cards that said the ego fears the unexpected, right, or the sudden danger. And I said, well, the weak ego fears because the strong ego knows that it created the danger, right? If you're in a creative process and you've created this tower experience, right? If it comes, you know that you helped to build it. You knew what you were building towards. So I would interpret this card that way. You're not to blame for anything, okay? Whatever's happening is a positive. We have to take the positives, okay? The credit, you get the credit. Bless this space. Your sacred space holds the soul to bear. Palo Santo or sage will clear the air. And what kind of air needs to be cleared, right? What needs clearing? That's what we got to figure out. Okay. Okay, and I'm just putting them there for now. They're not going to necessarily stay there. Divine Guardian, don't be nervous. Do not be nervous today or tonight. The path you're on will lead you just right. Somebody else's energy is in this. So somebody else is affecting you, and you need to transmit this energy to them, or it's just this Divine Guardian. But I feel like this is one thing, and this is another thing. So whoever is affecting you negatively, okay, you're going to push your energy their way rather than let their energy take you down. Okay, so this Divine Guardian, nice. And we'll find out. I'm sure you have many ideas about how many Divine Guardians you have. Okay, so let's get into these 8 swords. And tie them in with the Lenormand and all that. And let's see what's what. And I'm going to see if I can get the focus. Sometimes the focus is too close to down here. It's not sharp enough up there. So hopefully that works. Okay. Alright, I feel like this might actually be the most important read I ever do in my life. The last time she showed up was the most magical reading I'll ever do in my life. God, I'm even wearing my red dress today. Forgot. And it's a V-neck. Okay, we're in the zone. We're in the zone. But the cards are like, hang on. I'll fix this shadow. Okay, wow. Okay, so the way they fall matters. I've taken a page from the books of geomancy, shall we say. No, what I've learned from Ethiopian websites about geomancy, and where the tradition is to watch how objects fall, the patterns they create and the directions they fall in. That's the divination, okay, part of it. So I've applied that to this because it's become a thing in my life. These are both Aquarius energy to me. These are both 11th house energy to me. Others would put it as Gemini, but not I. This is beyond 3rd house. This is what you do with what you know. But this also takes you back to childhood. What really, you came into the world with very specific interests. And sometimes when we're youngest, we know that we don't necessarily know. We find components. We find parts of our interests maybe when we're little. Like I really wanted to work with circuits and electricity. But not just things that were finished. I wanted things all to be apart, and I wanted to figure out how electricity worked and how to animate things. So basically everything to do with machines, but it wasn't enough just to see the result. It's like in computers where we're all conditioned to software that's already done. It'd be like akin to wanting to know how to code, okay? It's not enough. Like you want to carve out your own space. So there's this energy to that for me. Now the interesting thing is we definitely have this uber male energy, masculine energy, looking like he's coming in to rescue. But also possibly, it looks a little threatening there. But this could both be you. The certainty, their certainty, this person is absolutely certain, can see a situation for what it is. Communicator, obviously everything to do with words, and usually connected to everything that's logical and outside the realm of psychic. But I would also say, no, there's tremendous wisdom here, because we're, yes, okay. But there's an aspect here of, there's something in motion, okay? This person is in progress and nearly upright, yes? Nearly arrived, slapping in the deck. We've been waiting. We've been waiting. The self has been waiting. Do I want to take it? I'm not sure. I'll put it to the side. More slapping. And, okay. Wow. The ending and the beginning, but the graduation, the accomplishment, the achievement, career energy. So, absolutely, this Queen of Pentacles opportunity, or the guardians. But yes, this laurel wreath of accomplishment. The final card of the deck, the world, the world, the world. But Saturn energy, career and reputation. Saturn co-rules all of this. But Saturn, for me, it carries a more maternal energy even than masculine, than paternal. Fears, boundaries, and calculated risks. But again, and it's arriving, like it's transiting. So Saturn's been transiting. I'm going to pause while this heater does its thing. This radiator. Okay, so I took some time with the doors cards. I had this thought, oh, okay, Divine Guardian. This could be your Divine Guardian if it's not you. But I was like, but wait a minute, what about her? She was right underneath. Because I thought, well, is this your energy that it's... But no, so it stopped me. They actually stopped me from, I was going to put it over here. And no, your Divine Guardian is somebody who's been where you've been. Who's been where you're going, okay? And knows exactly how to push and pull you in what directions. Not that God isn't also part of this, but I know that the humans that are on the other side, this is part of their healing. And part of their satisfaction, their professional satisfaction, is to help see, like, what did we say about this continuing work, yes? So they have a vested interest in seeing everything that they did in their lives with this work, to see it progress through your work, right? And to help you with it. Because we're saying it's bigger, right? It's bigger. Bigger than just you. Okay. But as for, obviously, the inner power and bless this space, it's hitting me for now that they both apply to the space. Your inner power, you have all of this power with you going through this portal, yes? And that is your space. What you are creating, this dimension you're going into, is the dimension you created. Anything else from Tarot? How are we going to do this? what needs to be... I mean, I can say exactly how I go through. If there's... Well, no, I won't. I want to hold off just yet. Because Susan's going to have enough to say, and so is our Mel's ancestors. Right in the deck. Just like she did back. Well, she did a little more spectacularly back in May or whenever it was. Like the deck just caught her. She was just, her toe basically was caught in the deck. She jumped right out. Spun and jumped. Yeah. We're just gonna take it in the upright because it didn't hit the table in any particular direction, but it's definitely not in the reverse. So victory after hardship, but full communion, full happiness, full Pisces, 12th house. You have fulfilled your destiny. Then what happens? Now, does this happen after that or before? And because you fulfilled your destiny, you know, this is the key. Okay, well, we've got so much going on there. Let's pause, and we know, let's review. Mind often wants to see you know and know exactly what's around the corner. Okay, they're not going to let me know. Because we have to go, it's all about how we're going through. It's all about how you're in it right now. It's coming, it's in process. Right? It's this close to being complete. Okay? And this is what it feels like. This is what it looks like. Now what's interesting though is this king. Do you have two guardians or is this just you? It's such a striking energy difference, isn't it? Okay. We'll see if these two clear that up for me at all. But yes, so they're not gonna, the creative process. The answer is the creative process. And all those serendipitous things that this isn't going to be like a marketing campaign that you have set up and engineered and you do this, and you exhaust your options and you optimize and you put it in play. I mean, that might be involved, yes, but that is not what's running this. That is not... No. So even if they take something, like they take something away major one day, okay, and you're like, well, should I not panic and basically drop everything and solve this? And they're like, no, you're not going to drop everything and solve this. This is part of it. You're going to move methodically. We're in Scorpius energy, okay? The sun is in Scorpius. We're in Scorpio. Scorpio, very slow metabolism. Yes, we'll move fast. I'm a Scorpio rising. We'll move fast at times. But by and large, everything goes slower. I gave Scorpio a submarine. Submarines have to rise and sink slowly, yes? Or the water pressure will destroy. So... don't do anything fast. Don't panic. This was coming. Whatever's coming that's hitting as a blow, whatever feels like an attack, it's all part of it. This is a controlled demolition. If there's anything like that, okay? You've probably gone through some version of this before, within even the last 4 years, because there would be a lunar cycle attached to it. Okay, so let's start with Mel's card. I'll get the book. This is Mel's book that comes with the deck, okay? And I will hold the card up while I read it out. Self-respect is what we think and our beliefs about ourselves. It's an important aspect of self. The sense of self-worth we have ultimately determines the choices we make and the paths we take on our journey. If we're unhappy within ourselves, we will make choices to support and further confirm these feelings of worthlessness. Whereas when we feel good about ourselves, the decisions we make in our lives and the energy that we surround ourselves with supports us and keeps us in a good place. You're quick to find faults in yourself, and you struggle to identify your own strengths and self-respect. Your self-esteem's been battered in the past to the point you do not feel you have much to offer. You are a people pleaser and find it difficult to recognize your own power. You find it easier to give your power to others than to use it yourself. However, there are many people who look to you for guidance, and you have little awareness of the support and courage that you give them. You have much strength of character and only need to find the time to identify what those strengths are. When you do, you'll be surprised how many people depend on you and how strong you actually are. Well, I think Taurus knows it, but it's a question of what you do with that. So one thing we need to do is identify and write down what the strengths are. Now, what I can bring to that is what I'm about to do for my week 35 video for my astrology workbook video series, where I'm in the house of Taurus, second house. And second house is all about what you have, what your assets are, and what you don't have, right? What was taken from you. And the first thing you have is a birth chart. And you may or you may not know that, right? That's the first thing they take from us when we land here. Usually. I think most of us are born not knowing that we have a birth chart. And then not knowing how to interpret it, okay? But one thing I need to do is go back and list from my childhood what were the things that I had and what were the things I didn't have. And what did I sense that what did I sense that I had? Let me just not kick the camera. What did I sense that I have? For instance, when I was 4 years old, I first saw Star Wars. Okay. Formatted to fit the TV screen. And this is relevant because Princess Leia comes from Alderaan, which is a bare, reconfiguring of the star Aldebaran, which is in Taurus, okay? But it physically pained me not to be in Star Wars at age 4. Like, I just knew. Now the thing is, why? Because my second house is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is completely a Jedi. Sagittarius is so far out in space. I gave Sagittarius a space pod. I gave all the fire signs space places, right? But, and that was before I had figured out. Okay? But, what are the things that you have, the things that you wanted that you don't have? Have you gone and listed them? Do you know your second house? Where your second house is in your chart? My second house, in both systems, I use a whole house system and an uneven house system. I use the Regiomontanus, which is really the Ibn Ezra. In both systems, I have an empty second house. But do you have planets in your house? In your second house? What aspects? I do have all kinds of planets aspecting my second house. And the fact that it's in Sagittarius. In the other system, it's in Sagittarius, Capricorns, and Aquarius. So then I take all the information from that. I also go to the nakshatras, the fixed stars, and constellations of Vedic astrology, because there's even more information there around those stars that is even a little more specific than our constellations in the Western zodiac. Okay? These things, though, knowledge can bring you. So I'm going into those details because I really feel like you actually do know, as a Taurus, exactly what you give to others and how much they take. But what to do about it. What to do about those 6 pentacles and how to get your fair pay. Right? And it's going to be done creatively, apparently. Not through Again, what did I say? Executive thinking. Which is fascinating. But you can't make things happen, right? You have to, it has to come from within you, yes? So that's what she's echoing. And of course you can hear how much she's speaking to this portal, this inner power. She's echoing, absolutely she's echoing this completely, right? Even to bless this space, like it's all here. They're not wasting any time with this read. There's no confusion, and there might be confusion for us, but there's no confusion for them in this read. Okay, so I'm gonna get, and that's Mel Brown, and now I'm gonna get, and she's an excellent, amazing healer. That all of her decks, I've worked with all her decks, just they never fail to call something out. If something harsher needed to be called out right now, it would be. It's a pretty gentle call out. She's not really hitting you over the head with anything. She certainly can. I got my dad to do a reading with his neighbor before, the week before she finally put her dog, scheduled her dog for the passing over, yes? And it was Mel that called her out and told her to do it. In the Aboriginal medicine deck, healing medicine deck. Not this deck, but the healing one, the medicine one. I've had people talk to me about childhood sexual abuse because Mel has called them out in a reading. They didn't expect to tell me. She touched right into it. Her ancestors, I should say. Her work, but her ancestors. So why she's got me talking about that is because there's what you're going to say. Fuck. Okay. Okay, Taurus, so there's what you're going to say, and then there's what they're going to say through you. Well, that suddenly hit. I mean, she hit me right between the eyes anyway. Okay. Something to do with this king as well. We have like almost archetypal female and male energies on the table between that Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords. So the yin and yang are covered. Perhaps the Queen of Pentacles is more in the background. And when this completes, you'll know it by this King of Swords energy around it. If that's not, in fact, you. You are also becoming a Queen of Pentacles. Yes? This is working in multiple ways. Okay, Taurus. So I'm going to get over into Susan's card now. So this is the book for Susan's deck. The artwork's by Tony Taylor. Okay. So take this as maybe ancestral energy then, I'm feeling, if it doesn't trigger as a past life, but maybe it does trigger as a past life. So this is a diagram of a read layout that Susan has created that is amazing. Very effective, using all of her cards, right? But she's written out paragraphs for each card in each of those positions, so that's what I'm going to read from, okay? And we're going to use, I'm going to use my own shorthand for what the planets mean. So like for me, in the Sun position, and remember we've got that 5 of necessary change and the 14. But for me, the Sun position is all about your instincts and triggers. So now I just got to get to the page. Because I didn't. Alright. So in this position, in the Sun position, your powers of creative communication have been unleashed. And you may express this in writing or speaking. You're able to communicate in unusually beautiful and charming ways. Others can feel your warmth and gravitate towards you. So the B side of that is if you're not communicating that way, then change. This card choice indicates a raising of your aesthetic sense and your powers of persuasion. You really do exude star quality. Others may ask you to run the show, and you'll find yourself taking on the role of leader. Be certain to give special attention to small details. Otherwise, your best efforts may be thwarted by poor planning. Where did we have the 2? Didn't I have it 2? Now I gotta think about this. All right. So, right. Getting in front of a project. Don't let it get ahead of you. So in the moon position, which for me is your conscience, the soul radiates a sense of warmth and love. This is a time for wit, gregarious participation, and experiencing multiple levels of creative expression. Things will need to be done in a big way to capture your interest. Oh, your interest. What about everyone else's? You feel the need to encompass and expand. You have an especially clever turn of mind. You may be challenged in rounds of friendly debate. Know that you're well liked now. Encompass and expand. Especially clever turn of mind. Warmth and love. Wit. Gregarious participation. So bantering and flirting and all kinds of things with people. Now, 8 of Swords doesn't necessarily suggest that, does it? Okay, where do we need to get with this? I keep hitting I've got the cameras. There we go. The strap is driving me nuts. Okay. In the Mercury position, your mind and imagination. The Dancer is the most powerful and influential card choice for the position of Mercury. This is the ultimate card choice in this deck for Mercury. I would not have guessed that. Now is the time to exercise your powers of persuasion and influence. You're able to express... Okay, so this is referring to a time when Team Shakespeare, never mind William, but the team, headed by Francis Bacon, as far as I can tell, and Masons and Rosicrucians, right? Okay, so they really... It was a wild time for productions. So production emphasis here. But also, well, I refuse to become a Mason. They really are running the show right now. They did a really good job with the pandemic. They've stripped away so much. Great White Brotherhood. So, how to take that information as well. You need to be aware of that. You're able to express yourself with ease and clarity. Literature and the written word may attract you. Others will tend to perceive you as warm, cultivated, and especially charming. You're generating a charisma that woos and draws others, which is excellent for sales. This allure is not mysterious or intimidating, but warm and open. People like you, and they want to bask in your optimistic aura. Use this gift wisely. Okay. So, the spider, yes, my collie. You're not being fake. You're not taking people anywhere they shouldn't go. You're winning them over to where they need to go. But you have to win them over. Okay. But who? That's the thing. In which direction do you turn this? In the Venus position... you want to branch out romantically. You've been feeling a certain... Now, remember, this all might resonate or it might not. Disclaimer. You've been feeling a certain restraint in your life and a need to break free from restriction. The Elizabethan Dancer indicates an especially creative period where many new faces and options will enter your life. Yes, and the problem with that is confusing creative energies, yes? Between sexual and actual creative. I mean, not that creative energy isn't sexual, period, but in terms of, do you gear it towards a project or a person, right? And how to keep them divided. Be warned, however, that your openness to sharing warmth and romance may lead to a pattern of dependency on your partner. This card position also cautions against promiscuity. It's not a good time to give yourself totally or impulsively to another, right? Because your energy is ready to bounce off of so many. The Elizabethan dancer indicates dramatic but short-term romances. So if you have a relationship to protect, be extra protective of it. God, I just want to say my nose has been itching for like the past 5 minutes, so somebody's close. Somebody, and my cat, who gets messages from the mothership, so to speak, is crowing. So that was the Venus position. So now we're going to the Saturn position, your fears, boundaries, and calculated risks. So we're going straight to this World Cards position. Yes? You're currently driven to accomplish things and give special attention to material necessities. You're feeling the need to buckle down to work and become more productive. You may accumulate property at this time, but you will also gain skills and wisdom. You're now being brought back to Earth. Ouch. Well, that kind of speaks to that King of Swords right there next to it, doesn't it? Thinking a certain particular way. Okay. And will realize you're expecting too much from your relationships. It's important for you to recognize that your partners are totally distinct from you. Oh, you mean that they're not all in the same play? They don't see the production of life the way you see it, and they're not just they're not just in your I'm laughing because I'm laughing at myself. Especially, you know, Taurus and Scorpio, we just have this all-knowingness. Many of us do, but there's this subliminal thing, and it's just sort of like, no, we already know the script underneath the script. And they're like, yeah, but it's their world too. Okay. So what's tricky though, right, is I got two more positions to read, but what's tricky is, well, how do you play that though, right? How do you take front and center, right? How do you do this thing with the Eight of Swords without with the self-respect? Okay. Details, details, details. In the Uranus position. But is that like a main thrust of this read then? I don't know, I think it's bigger than that. Whoops. Uranus. Where the heck did it go? There. Okay. You're a true genius with language, puzzles, debates, or anything that involves the written word. Your wit outpaces all others, and sometimes it's hard for you not to become frustrated with those who aren't as mentally quick as you. At times you can be self-indulgent. You may have a weight problem or an overextended budget. You're warm and witty, but a soft touch for a sob story. Learn how to make demands on others and see if they're genuinely your friends. Okay, that speaks to the Eight of Swords in terms of all the geniusness of the, right, the Aquarian energy here. That king is pretty mentally quick. Yes, absolutely. The quickest. Right, so are people bleeding you dry? But you're Taurus, so of course they are. It's all come to a head though, hasn't it? For like a make or break time, which I know has been building and building and building. In the Pluto position, final position, your aesthetic sense is heightened. You need to transform your immediate environment. You're feeling the urge to wipe out old habits or start over. Because you're attracted to so many new and exciting experiences, close associates are unable to extend their blessing, fearing that you're moving recklessly or too fast. The idea of a soulmate intrigues you. Your current relationships may be facing new challenges. So if we put the emphasis on you need to transform your immediate environment, your sacred space. I'm going to pause for a minute because I want to make sure I'm getting this all right. Okay, for starts, going back to this key card, so absolutely unlocking an opportunity, taking advantage of an opportunity, paired with, and I went to labyrinthos.com, my favorite place for Lenormand, paired with the clover, there's an easy opportunity coming up. There's an easy out. Now I know personally I do have an easy out. It doesn't mean I have an easy start somewhere else. I've got the exit. The exit is, that's what we're saying. Okay. Definitely an exit was orchestrated for me. So something has been orchestrated for you that took time, and a lot of it, hopefully it's impressing the heck out of you. But it's also scary because, again, wanting to know where the hell to go, because there's been careful planning around them. For me, yes, a project for many things. But one has to happen before the other. And it's happening, like there's a sequencing, yes? And so it's all of the, if you know too much ahead of time, you won't do the right thing. You won't be in the right place at the right time. And the little things that need to happen, yes, won't happen. So emphasis on hold your ground, stay your course, take the Scorpio energy, because we're going to, the sun's going to be in Scorpios for a month, right? Take that energy, as frightening as it is, if things have been pulled from you, let's say money, right? Because that's the emphasis here. This is your guardian. This is deep magic. Pentacles are the deepest, you know, the scariest magic, okay? This Pentacles energy is the scariest magic. And we have the Seven of Pentacles transformation here, okay? Because we're talking about transformation, so needing to transform your immediate space, okay? Well, we do have that here. And, oh, interestingly enough, it's in the reverse. So it's already happening. It's already happened. Takes us back to the Six of Safe Passage, but really I'm going to take it as we already have the Six. No, that would be Libra. That's Swords. 6. We have the 6 right here. Okay. So emphasis on this luck. Emphasis on, again, the self-respect and knowing your price. Knowing your worth. Negotiating for yourself. Who to give to, who to take from. And that really does, there's something inside of you needs to be worked on in order for it to manifest the right way on the outside. I'm not speaking law of attraction. That's not what I'm talking about. It's more like a Lilith energy of magnetisms and polarities, right? If you're always being kind to people that need help, then you're looking in a particular direction. And you might need to be looking upwards, yes, to someone who can help you. However, there are, you already have this other help from the spirit side. So there's a clear exit. This has happened. It's happening. Okay. Thank you for the clarification on that, guides, God. And now, making sure that you've done the spiritual work on yourself to set things up and to test, to push back exactly when the enemy wants you to quit, okay? And to say, no, I'm not going to panic. I made this, I helped make this happen. You helped make this happen. You helped set this up. You did your part in it. And they honored it, and you all worked together. Tremendous coordination going on. Stay coordinated, stay in contact, stay alert, stay watching, because there's this key here. Thank you. Okay, so, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Yes, 33, of course, the master number, the master. What were they saying about the Masons? Thank you, Susan. Okay. The 8 of Pentacles. The key is in the work, right? All the work you've done. But we can't know. We have to stay in the Eight of Pentacles. Stay in the detail work. Stay in the detail work. And that's just where, stay in this awareness, okay? And we know. We've got this Three of Wands over on the side here. Whew. Okay, Taurus. This is, I would get another Kuan Yin, but I feel like this one is quite huge. It said so much. This creative process. I don't want to muddy it with something that is excellent, but also takes us off, you know. This is a lot to keep track of. Okay. Much love, Taurus. Well done.